Yes, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. It is time for a new game mode in World of Tanks Blitz, and we've shown you a little bit of a preview already on the Big Boss Gamemode, and here we have some actual gameplay footage. So without any further ado, let's get stuck in straight away. What is this game mode all about? This is the major tank, the Big Boss. This battle role is assigned randomly to one player in the team at the beginning of the battle, and unlike other roles, it does not change when you get destroyed and respawn. You will get 3 lives as the boss, and you will have a few advantages. You will get 4 times the hit points of your tank, and HP matters greatly in World of Tanks Blitz, so survive longer, the more damage you can deal. You will get a great boost to your main tech characteristics as well. You get a better reload time, you will get better engine power, you will get better damage per shot and maximum speed. And you will get a nice ability as well, which is this one. 3, 2, 1, there we go. Bzzz. Mega shot. It fires a shot that literally pierces through all enemies in its line of sight and deals damage to them. It's the best thing to do that if there are tanks sitting behind each other, because you would do damage to all of them. And if you can't do that, shoot the tank with the biggest amount of hit points available. You also have a active ability which you can use and see in the right side of the screen just below all the consumables. It is called Blast Wave. It pushes and deals damage to the enemy, which I'm doing right about here against this T100 LT and the other tanks as well. And yes, the boss is strong. It's a big boss. It is a really tough guy, but it's not an ultimate impenetrable destroyer. You have to be careful, and you have to keep in mind that you are always spotted. There is a big icon on the map. You will always be spotted. The opposite team will always know where you are, and if they surround you, your hit points will deplete rapidly. You can only respawn twice. You can see that from the markers on the top over there. As you can see, 3 check marks, and if you die or if you manage to kill the enemy boss, you will gain 5 points. This mode is about getting points. As said, it's 7 versus 7. Battles will last 9 minutes maximum. You will have to get 30 points. You will get 5 points for destroying a boss, and you will get 1 point for destroying a mod. First team to reach 30 points will win. And then you have the boss, obviously. You still have 6 other players. What is going to happen to them, Martin? Well, the other players, they will be randomly assigned a role as well. And one of them is this one, the Bomber. The Bomber has 2 abilities, as you can see. It has Big Bang, which is an active ability, and it has a passive ability, quote-unquote ability, in terms of speed and engine power boost. And this was the second game we played on this little test server together with the other contributors. I wasn't really sure what to do with this tank because it's a Leopard and it doesn't really have any armor. But what you can do with the Bomber is just go forward, activate that consumable at the bottom right, and then you will deal damage to all enemies close to you. And the Bomber tank is not destroyed after this blast. And if you manage to escape, you can actually activate your Bomber ability multiple times if you manage to escape. It's meant for close encounters, so it's very efficient against groups of enemy tanks, like I'm going to do here. Boom, that's 1, and then we're going to shoot this FE4005, and then we get blown up ourselves. There we go, and I'm still there. Oh, I'm dead anyway. Okay, happens. It works really good against a group of enemy tanks, and in some cases it might actually be preferable to sacrifice your Bomber and make sure your boss or any other tanks do survive and get saved. Lovely stuff. What do we have next then? We're going to have the tank that's responsible for stuff like this little black hole over there, which sucks in the Sheridan. We are talking about the Graviton. Graviton has, as the other tanks, the other mods have as well, an active ability and a passive ability. The passive ability is Kinetic Shield, which reduces all the damage received during battle. You will still have to be careful and avoid close combat. It's better to make these gravitational traps from medium or long distances. You don't get any extra armor, you don't get a lot of extra hit points, etc. You don't get better gun dispersion or damage, etc. You are a good tank, but yeah, you have to sit at medium to long distances. And your active ability is Gravitrap. Again, it is a consumable, so you will have to press a button on your keyboard or touch a button on the touchscreen. And if that happens, then stuff like this may occur. Tanks get sucked in, as you can see. And what we're going to do, we have it activated now. We're going to shoot this object 140 and he gets sucked in, as you can see. And then it's going to bounce left and right and left and right. And once you get sucked in, trapped enemy vehicles can't move or aim really well. So allies can do easy damage to them. This is a great ability to be used against a group of enemies. Or maybe the boss from the opposite team. If you use the ability on a building, it's even more fun. And in the meantime, enjoy this flying E50M. As said, if you manage to create a trap on a building, that's really much fun. Just take a look at this. This was a bomber E100 who destroys quite a lot of our teammates. I'm going to shoot him once and then he gets sucked in. He is tracked now, but once he repairs his tracks, he gets sucked in and the 60TP gets sucked in. This is so stupid in a way. It looks silly. It really does. But it also works quite well. And speaking about working quite well, I am in the leopard once again at Vineyards, as you can see, and I now have the Regenerator skill. And the other three skills are pretty much offensive skills. This one, the Regenerator, not. That's a defensive class. If you shoot your teammate, you will heal them. This healing shot is always active. You can just keep shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. Your active availability is a restoration zone, which this Your Mama is now activating. So I get restored every now and then. It creates a healing area and that restores allies' HP within its range. It also negates the effect of Catalyst Poison Shot. We're going to take a look at that after this one. And if you have two of these tanks together, two restoration zones, it will provide a strong double healing effect. And the passive ability is activated by shooting an allied vehicle that is called Energy Shield, and it will protect them from taking damage for just one time, for one shot. That one, the Energy Shield, that does have a limited cooldown, and you can see it on the bottom just above your hit point bar. And then the last mod. Catalyst, as you can see. It has an active availability of poison shot. When you shoot an enemy, it provides your shot not only with regular instant damage, which by the way is a little bit better, but you will also poison them, depleting enemy hit points for some period after the vehicle was hit. And your passive ability means that you will get bonuses to aiming time, gun reload time and base damage dealt. And this is the most powerful damage dealer on the team. You will want to keep this tank alive as long as possible. Regenerator being the defensive one. Catalyst for normal ranges. You will want to play this one like you would normally do. Bomber for close range. And then you have the gravitational Graviton mod. That is the one to use if you will want to suck enemies into a black hole, basically. And this game mode, as said, it was strange at the beginning. Maybe I should have read the PDF a little bit better. I think maybe, but in other words, it really looks good, I think. I mean, we are shooting this object 140. He gets. We were not using our ability. We're going to use it now, I think, on this Your Mama. And we're going to use it on the boss. You can see there's bits hovering around my gun barrel, and then we're going to shoot the boss. There we go, 3, 2, 1, and he loses a little bit in terms of his HP as well. And I think this is what then happens to me. It almost seems you kind of draw hit points from the enemy into you. And you will want to play this tank pretty much like the playstyle of the tank it normally is. Little summary, the boss benefits from massive HP and great firepower with its mega shots and blast wave, but still vulnerable against being swarmed by the enemy. You can't survive long without allies' support. Graviton, that will immobilize enemies with the Gravitrap, and you have to stay at medium to long distances. The bomber enjoys close combat. It explodes in a big bang to deal mass damage to the enemy vehicles nearby. Catalyst, strong damage dealer with poison shots, and we're going to ammo-wreck this object on 40. That one, as said, prefers the playstyle depending on basic tank class, and Regenerator is the defensive class to protect and heal the boss and other allies using multiple abilities. Boss depends on the mods, and vice versa. Keys to victory are cooperation, contribution and teamwork. Together the tanks are stronger. And to show you that the boss is indeed vulnerable if it gets swarmed, we're going to just sort of stumble across this open field at In Middelburg, we're going to shoot this, or Middelburg Himmelsdorf, we're going to shoot this T100 LT with our mega shot. We were using the blast wave. It didn't really work, unfortunately, because it wasn't close enough to us, and then we get sucked into a black hole. And as you can see, guys, big tanks like this E100, it takes some time for them to sort of bounce around, but once they start bouncing around, you will not be able to survive very long. I'm again in a gravitational trap, getting hammered from all directions, as you can see, and even this T100 LT gets sucked in. He bumps into me. There's nothing this guy can do now, and we are going to die, guys. It is, yeah, see? Boom! We're dead. And this screen always appears, so you will be able to take a look at all the abilities and all the changes to your tank once you respawn. And like I said, it is a fun mode, guys. It really is. I'm not quite sure if you will gain XP like you could in the normal modes. It doesn't really seem that you manage to get like 2 or 3 times the XP like you could do in Uprising or other bits of the fun modes. But what I like about this one, that it's not, there's no real overpowered class, basically, overpowered mod. You have to work together. If you don't work together, then you will get instantly wrecked, basically. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe. We're looking at the Big Boss Gamemode of World of Tanks Blitz. I look really forward to playing this live on the battlefields. Please leave your comments down below what you think of it, and I'll catch you very, very soon on the next video. Cheers, happy tanking, bye bye.